I need something simple to play. And no, the answer isn't Mario. I mean, look at this image. See? Look how many shapes are in here. Round head, round belly, square pea. I just want to deal with one shape at a time. The GameCube did it best. That thing was literally a square. Oh, and the Game Boy too. Screw it, this relates. In 1984, a legend was born. Tetris is a Russian puzzle game developed by... my life. Alexei Pajanov, and seemingly immediately took on the trace of a viral infection because it ended up everywhere. Proof? I just checked under my bed and found a spare L block. Part of the reason that Tetris is literally everywhere you look is the sheer simplicity of the design. Let me run you through it. To start off with, you're presented with a blank space and a falling block, known as a tetromino. Is the plural tetromini? The tetrominos, bam, keep falling onto the grid, and you have to assemble a full horizontal line to delete them from existence and buy yourself more time. Clearing 4 lines is called a Tetris, and what do you know, that's the name of the game. As you keep clearing lines, your score increases and the tetrominos speed up, which obviously puts more pressure on you to clear more lines until... yeah. Wow, I fucking suck at this game. No you don't, silly. I've just explained the entire concept of Tetris. Blocks fall down, you fill a horizontal line to clear it, the blocks speed up the more lines you clear. Aside from a few minor functions like rotation of blocks and holding down to speed up the block falling, that's all there is to Tetris. So, how is it so popular? Games can't be that simple anymore. They need to be full 80-hour open world experiences to be worth any of my time. Well, the answer's actually pretty simple. It's addictive as shit. Trust me, if you start playing, you can just get into this rhythm. When you enter that flow state and just start slotting blocks together, it just feels so good. It's like 80s flavored crack. So it's like normal crack. For reference, the Tetris being played here is the Game Boy version of the game, and probably one of the most famous. I don't know, I always see Tetris associated with the Game Boy since it was a packing title in North America. Add that to the list of why Tetris is like crack. They handed it out for free in the United States. Yeah, what I said is true. Tetris is an incredibly basic game, but I feel as if that makes it somewhat better. That's what drew people into it as a Game Boy game. You can really just put the cartridge in, select a level, which is actually just starting speed, and play for 10 or so minutes, or 30 minutes, or an hour, or a couple of hours, or... Okay, we gotta put a time limit on this thing. Also, this music. Good God, so iconic across all of gaming. It's based on an old Russian folk song called... oh, Jesus Christ. But there's also 2 other music tracks in the game if that's not taking your fancy. So good music, great and addictive gameplay, and being thrown into every Game Boy system whether you like it or not. It's no wonder that Tetris started to really get into people's heads at this stage. But despite most of the praise on this game being centered around its basic gameplay, this version is almost too basic. Contradiction incoming in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, so the gameplay is basic, easy to pick up, addictive, yada yada yada, I've said this all before, but that can be a flaw too. Let's compare this version of Tetris to, say, the web version of Tetris available right now. In comparison, the Game Boy version is missing features such as hard drops and holds that don't seem essential until you actually play without them. I hope no one saw that. So right now we've got a great game that could use just maybe a slight increase in polish and design. That is a lot to take in. Welcome to Tetris 99. I'd like to say it's the latest Tetris game, but these things spawn in every fortnight, so no one can say that for sure. Originally developed as a Tetris Battle Royale. Please, I beg, just stick with it for another sentence or two. The game was later expanded with paid DLC, adding things like a traditional Tetris marathon mode and all of this. So we've got things like Battle Royale mode, and holy shit, I'm not reading all of that. Let's just get to the point. Welcome back to Tetris. See, this is a part of the flawed beauty in that original gameplay design. It was so basic back then that it's basically the exact same today, only with a lot more colour. But after nearly 40 years of Tetris developers just churning and churning out Tetris games, I think the small improvements made here and there have really added up. The game has shown it can evolve, and not just on a technical level, but by jumping on industry trends too. Anyone up for an online match of Tetris 99? Okay, so for example, before, every tetrometer had a unique pattern on their blocks, which was supposed to help you figure out their shape at a glance. That's certainly a B for effort, that's for sure, but on every Tetris game since the Renaissance era, every block has colour now. Trust me, when the game gets really fast and you're relying on pretty much just pure instinct, this is a godsend. I looked up and I saw my hand start to bleed and I immediately recognised there was an S-shaped block stuck to me. Holding is a thing now. Hope you started doing it to your controller. Yeah, you can save certain pieces for later and just throw them in when you need them. You got the perfect setup for a Tetris but no 4x1 in sight? Just grab it from your pocket. Hold on. this is all I've got. And speaking of which, you can see multiple Tetrominos in the preview window now. You can plan ahead and figure out where your next 3 Tetrominos are going to fit instead of just 1. If you're the fucking Flash, maybe. Oh, and hard drops too. Thank the Lord for hard drops. But equally, thank the Lord that doing soft drops doesn't lock your Tetromino in place the moment it touches the ground, because now we have less of that. And equally, thank the Lord for giving me pointless things to talk about. And measles. These are obviously all minor changes, but I think it goes to show just how timeless Tetris is. When you boil it down, these 2 games are nearly the exact same. The only differences are these minor tweaks that make the game a lot more fun in my opinion. But I still feel that same kind of fun playing the Game Boy release. I think this proves something. Something bigger than just Tetris. Yeah, this is the basis of why I think Tetris is the greatest puzzle game ever. It's everywhere, it's really fast, I can look really smart while playing it, but I think it says a lot more about simpler games altogether. A lot of these things are going to stand the test of time, because their core gameplay loop is just that fun and addictive. It won't grow stale. Like, let's take a look at some of these Tetris spin-offs. Tetris 3D, for example. A weird Virtual Boy take on the series where you try and fill one layer of a 3-dimensional space as opposed to one horizontal row in a normal Tetris grid. Is it still fun? Probably. Gonna be honest, this might be considered too Virtual Boy-y to be considered a true Tetris game. How about we just go back to basics with the Grandmaster series? Okay, how do I explain this one? You ever asked the question, what if we made Tetris go really fast? I proposed that idea to the board last week. I got fired. The Grandmaster series is effectively this to the max, boasting speeds of up to 3 Tetrominos a second. Oh my god, what are they feeding these things? And okay, yeah, Tetris 99 was fun. Despite all the insults at the idea of a Tetris Battle Royale, because do you hear what I'm saying? Tetris Battle Royale? It was surprisingly fun until people stopped caring and stopped playing. No matter what form these games take, no matter what gimmicks publishers try to shove into them, their quality gameplay will always shine through. Even if you're left shrugging your shoulders and saying, well, I guess it's just Tetris. That's the whole point. It's still Tetris. And it's the same for other simple games too. Even the worst ports of Super Mario Bros. Have people shrugging their shoulders and saying, it's Mario. We really should appreciate these simpler games more, because at the end of the day, I think they're more fun than some modern releases coming out. But not Puyo Puyo. Puyo Puyo is an ass puzzle game, and Tetris is miles clear. If you give me the choice between Puyo Puyo and Tetris in Puyo Puyo Tetris, I'm picking Tetris every single time, which has nothing to do with my skill in Puyo Puyo. I'm good at Puyo Puyo. It's just so much worse than a puzzle game as Tetris. Trust me, I'm right.